Hello everybody and welcome to another Blackout tips video. Today we're going to be going over the updated gun tier list and then answering the internet's most asked questions about Blackout. Let's get right into it. Okay, starting us off with the tier list, I have the KN at first over the Rampart. As seen in this image, the Rampart does have a more consistent drop-off, so damage-wise that does give it the slight bit of edge, but I do prefer the extended fast mags that the KN can have over the Rampart. It's a very close tie for first. Next I have the Paladin, and that's just because it can pierce through armor very easily right now, and it is still a one-shot headshot to down somebody. I have the Outlaw next. It loses that armor piercing, but it does fire very quickly. And now, this is still the best weapons that you should have, is the Concussion, because right now those things last forever. You can't crouch, it stops you from healing. They basically fully disable you. Then I have the Mines, and as said in, I believe, part 1, to put those on bridges, because it's really good to just throw those things on bridges at the end of the zone, and you'll usually just get random kills. The cluster grenades are being spammed like crazy right now, and of course the sensor dart, being able to see where enemies are almost in real time, is very useful. Coming in at 8 here, I'm just going to skip over some here to get the important ones out of the way, but the ABR just barely squeaked out of S tier. I still believe it is one of the better guns. I think it's still a 6-shot burst kill if they have no armor on. The SG-12 is really good for if you're camping in a building, which I wouldn't recommend at the end of the zone, but sometimes you do need to just sit in a building. The Strife right now, if you throw some extended mags on there and a grip, that way you can aim down sights faster. I've been getting like 11 killed games with that Strife. It doesn't have any range, but if you pair that up with a Paladin and a Strife, it is actually a crazy good combo. I've seen a lot of people ranking it at like D tier, and I just don't think that's fair. And for the Spitfire that you see there at the end of A tier, why it's not an S tier is I just believe the Strife can outperform it at close range, but if your aim isn't that good, I guess the Spitfire you can just throw some rounds, and the extended fast mag is really nice. For B tier, this is kind of a close one. I really feel like past the A tier, these guns start to jump into mediocrity, but they are still good. Like the MX-9 with a level 2 on there and an extended mag is really nice. Ray gun, super slow bullet travel time, but close range it can two-shot somebody with level 3 armor. And then the Auger, I don't know, I go back and forth on that one, but I do believe that it is a better gun than all the ones underneath it for sure. And then the MP40 is just a really good submachine gun. It hits really hard. And then for the C tier, so these are all things that were just going to be super specialization. We got the Yeet Stick, Kettlecorn 73's favorite weapon. That thing is really hard to use, but if you can hit it, it's really good against zombies, which is why I put it so high, because it one-hits zombies and it's quiet, so people don't know if you're going for the box. And the new SWAT. The SWAT is there, and I believe that gun is super mediocre. It just feels like a garbage ICR. Coming at the D tier, you'd really expect most of these, but then you got the Matt Damon, the other new gun. That gun sucks. Really anything in this D and F tier do not pick up. Maybe the Barricade, depending on how campy you are, but I believe that you'd be better off grabbing an extra cluster grenade if you could over a Barricade. Wrapping us up in F tier, the Titan is still awful, and I still find gold variants of that all the time, especially because of that one guy's note comes with the Titan and a Barricade and some barbed wire. But the absolute worst gun in the game is actually a smoke grenade, because I still feel like, just like the Barricade, this is kind of planning on failing. You shouldn't have to throw a smoke grenade to run away like that. I mean, it is good to have sometimes. It's really just a super specialized thing. I feel like it's a wasted slot. I'm not saying that it's awful. It's just too specialized to be taking up a valuable slot space. And then also, here's a clip of the Cordite. He hit this guy 23 times, and he had level 3 armor, did not kill him. That Cordite is the pea shooter. Okay, jumping us into the Google autocomplete questions. So I put in Call of Duty Best. Call of Duty Best Guns. There you go, we discovered that. Call of Duty Best Settings. I'd make sure to put your audio on crunchy, and I'd also make sure that your looting is on tap instead of hold. And then I have Call of Duty Best Landing Spots. I cover this in part 2 of my breakdown, and thank you guys so much for the support on that video. It's been doing very well. It's a very useful spot. It's a very useful video on where to land. In Call of Duty Blackout Best Strategy, this one is more generalized, but I covered that, I believe, in all 3 of my parts of my film breakdown, because you can have horrible aim, and I believe that you can still do very well, so I believe it is all strategy. Okay, we have, does Call of Duty Blackout? Does Call of Duty Blackout have bullet drop? Yes, sometimes more severe than others. Remember, if you're higher than somebody, you don't have to aim as high, and just a general rule of thumb, I usually just do a half mil-tick above their head if they're at a longer range. The mil-ticks are those little lines. A half mil-tick is in between the normal crosshair and the 1 mil-tick right underneath it, depending on the scope. I'm very bad with the Koshka's one, the triangle. That one's kind of hard to use. But the Paladin, just do a half mil-tick is usually, you'll usually hit their head. If not, you guarantee the body. Does Call of Duty Blackout have aim assist? To Ninja's disapproval, yes it does. Does Call of Duty Blackout have bots? I've been seeing some really awful players, but I think those are just Christmas noobs. But no, I don't think it has bots. Does Call of Duty Blackout have split screen? Yes, it actually works quite nicely. I was playing with my fiance on here, humble brag, but it's actually not that bad. The resolution doesn't really change that much. Does Call of Duty Blackout have proximity chat? No, but that would be hilarious. I love seeing those things in PUBG. I think they should add that soon. Does Call of Duty Blackout need PS Plus or Xbox Gold? I would say yes, I believe it does. Okay, Call of Duty How To. Call of Duty How To Win. Yeah, I covered this in the last 3 videos. I could see it's a very searched question. I would recommend watching those other 3 because there's a lot more that I can cover in about 30 minutes of video compared to just 10. Call of Duty How To Play. Well, I can't really answer that one. Call of Duty How to Unlock Ruin. I believe Ruin Battery, all the multiplayer characters should be unlocked now with the recent update. Call of Duty How To Wingsuit. This is based on altitude underneath you. I usually sprint and hold A. This one just takes practice to know how high up it can be, but I believe it's about 20 meters up. Okay, Call of Duty How to Wake the Sleeper Agent. First, you have to unlock Reznov at Estates with a 200-meter headshot. Once you unlock him, you use him in a match, have the t-shirt, hit the button at array. How to unlock Mason, just explain that. Call of Duty How to Get Characters. I believe they updated it recently, so that it actually just tells you how to unlock everybody. Well, thank you guys so much for this quick video. I hope the tier list was useful. If you have any questions, please drop it down in the comments, and go check out This Is Secret, and that'll be all for now. Peace.